Hey guys, I hope you're keeping safe and well out there. Welcome to this week's video on my very own Orange Surge e-bike. I absolutely love this bike, probably a bit too much, and I probably ride it a bit too much as well, and I should try and ride some of the other bikes, the organic bikes as we like to call it. Why do I love it so much? It's quite simple. I like riding bikes and I like going downhill and hitting the trails. And this bike allows me to do that more times in less amount of time. So surely it makes sense. The reason for this is because I'm not wasting energy climbing up the trail. I can save my energy while sitting in a nice upright position, getting rid of the lactic acid in my legs, get to the top, and then use all my energy, all my strength, and focus on going down the trail, which is what I love. Now there are loads of other aspects to it. The weight, obviously it is quite heavy because you're lugging around a bike plus a motor plus a battery. But that actually, you can use that to your advantage on the trail. So because of the extra weight, it means that the bike is far more planted in rough situations, which means you can plow through routes, whether that's going up or downhill, plow through it, letting the suspension work properly and ride your bike. Now also, loads of other advantages you've got because you've got the power. It means I can run a slightly different tyre setup to what I would normally run. So normally you'd go for a tyre that's good rolling resistance as well as grip. However, I've got a battery, it's gonna help me get up the hill. So all I want is as much grip as possible, which is why I've got two Schwalbe Magic Mary ultra soft compounds on this. Very over the top, especially in dry, dusty summer conditions like what we've got at the moment. But it's brilliant. It means that I can hit the trails as much as I want. I've got grip for days, and I'm really not worried about that extra drag when I'm cycling. So in essence, Orange have created an Alpine 6 and thrown a battery and a motor at it. That's what this bike is, which means we know it's capable for a lot of things out on the trails. So starting at the front end, the fork, it's the same as the Alpine 6. It's 170mm of travel, and I've got it on a Cane Creek helm. Super reliable, super stiff, super safe, and just always works. Low maintenance. So the wheels I've got on the bike now have only done 2 rides, and I think it's very unfair if I was to give a genuine response to them because I've only ridden it twice. So because of an e-bike, you've got that extra weight and it does put a lot more punishment through the wheels. So the wheels we've gone for now are the Hope Fortis downhill wheel set. Super strong, not too worried about the weight, and that's why we've gone for them on this. Okay, Cockpit, we have got 780mm width on our Renthal Fat Bar alloy bars. Nice and wide, a bit wider than I'd normally run on my trail bike, but this is kind of set up in a downhill kind of scenario because as we said earlier, I'm not worried about going up the hill and being in the right position. I want to know it's good for going down. Up front, we've got the quad lock case, as always, on the bars, so I can keep my phone on the go as we're going, and I can see what's going on Strava and make sure I beat all the guys on the organic bikes as I'm going around. Whee! Only other thing I keep on the bars, obviously, is the Shimano E8000 computer, so I can see the speed and everything as we're going as well, which is a really cool system they've got on there. Grips-wise, obviously, I've got the Uberbike lock-on grips, which you can get in loads of funky colours, and I've gone for orange and blue because that's kind of my theme. And on the shifting, we go straight to Shimano XTR, which is what this bike has been built around. So you can buy this bike in a Shimano XTR model, if you like, that's the range. And that's what we've built this bike to. So it's Shimano XTR throughout. However, on the brakes, I wanted to go for a bit more power and go kind of on the downhill route, which is why I've jumped onto the Shimano Saints, which is my favorite braking that you can get. Now coming back into the centerpiece, the frame itself, I love it. I think it is such a good looking e-bike compared to what you can get out there. I think there's loads of factors to make this bike look good. Integrated battery has got to be one of the big parts of it. Tucked away in the bottom of the frame, nice and low to make sure that the weight distribution and center balance is as good as you can possibly get. Then there's small details like the button. It's just so cool. It feels like you're jumping on a fighter pilot's cockpit when you jump on and push that button. Coming into the middle of the bike, it's the suspension, and as always, Cane Creek double barrel air is my preferred shock. It's the same as the Alpine 6. It's 165mm of travel on a metric shock. Super reliable, super safe, and super low maintenance. The motor, the power plant, where does it come from? Down here, again, center of gravity and positioning in the bike, get it as low as possible and as close to the middle as you can, which makes the ride brilliant when you're on the trail. This one and the one that we're using is a Shimano E8000 series. I used the one on the previous e-bike and loved it, and it's only got better. They squeezed another 4 watts of power out of it, so we've got a 504 watt output, and that's quite a lot when you consider that the average rider might kick 400 or 500 watts every now and again. You put your 400 or 500 watts on top of their 504 watts, suddenly you're really shifting. Dropper post, as always, I love to go for the Bike Yoke Revive dropper post. It is super clean, super fast, and because I am quite lanky, I can get 185 mil of travel out of it. Obviously, we had to bling this bike up as much as possible, which I am super happy about. We've gone to town with Uber bike components. So as you can probably see, they stand out nice. The blue Uber bike valves, I love them, with tubeless sealant in there as well. It's super easy to set up, and I haven't had any punctures. I can promise you that. Probably helps the combo between Schwalbe tyres and Uber bike sealant. That's what I reckon it is. Uber bike flat out pedals, I absolutely love them. Again, they just do the job properly. They're not crazy money to buy. They just work. Fantastic. And as you can see, mine are covered in, I believe that is chalk from the riding clips that you guys are watching right now. We did that riding this morning, and now we're filming this. So I do apologise that the bike is not pristine and polished, but kind of want to show you guys it straight after it's had a really tough day. So I've got the Uber bike e-bike specific brake pads in this bike, and they work a dream. I'm sure I could spray WD-40 on there and still get more power than most of the other people, but please don't try that at home. Finishing off the drivetrain, we've got the Shimano XTR 12-speed system, which I absolutely rave about. It's brilliant. I especially love the double tap technology when you're upshifting at the front end. It's brilliant. In summary, this bike is incredible. I absolutely love it. And if you like riding and smiles for miles is the objective, then this is the bike for you. You can get more time in on the trails if you have less time to spend faffing about getting up there and wasting all your energy to get to the top. It might not be the best for fitness, for climbing, but that's not what this is about. This is about doing as much as you want on the trails in the smallest amount of time. And when things get jumpy, which I really like, this bike's brilliant. Because of the extra weight, it's more stable in the air. So the bigger jumps actually become really easy. Click here if you want to see my Alpine 6 bike check, and click here if you want to see my Switch 6 bike check. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I can't wait to see you guys on the next video.